Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you haven't been here before. My name is Hannah, and today I'm going to be talking about 5 things or 5 ways that you can show your husband you love him. Obviously, I'm not going to be addressing what husbands should do because I'm assuming that most husbands aren't watching this channel, watching these videos. But anyway, go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you like these types of videos, and give this video a thumbs up. I would greatly appreciate it, and let's just get right into it. Well, I know that I haven't been married for that long. I'm a fairly young wife. I'm 25. I got married when I was 20, almost 21. Sam and I are coming up on our 5th wedding anniversary in about 3 months. So I'm a fairly new wife, but this list is really things that are fairly simple, practical ways to love your husband or to show him love. It's something that I think every man would receive well. You know, obviously everybody's different, everybody receives things differently, but these things I feel like are pretty universal. So the question I would have is to learn your spouse's love language and to practice it. So Sam's love language is a mix between acts of service and, I would say, words of affirmation. And I just sort of realized that the other day. I've always known acts of service was his love language because he's constantly doing things in service to other people. But words of affirmation is kind of a new realization for me, because it's interesting. He does affirm people, or affirm me, or affirm, someone else. He does a wonderful job at it, but it kind of takes him a little bit to think about doing that, which is why it didn't really strike me before. But when he does things, he wants my affirmation and he wants my encouragement about them. He's always asking me, did I do well on this? What do you think of this? How did I do on this? And I was like, the other day, we were talking in the car, and I was like, I think that your secondary, or maybe even more dominant than acts of service, love language is words of affirmation, because he constantly craves that from me, especially, which is something, it's kind of a new revelation to me. So it's something that I'm going to work harder at. Acts of service I already knew, and so I do my best with the time that I have and, a young child, to serve him in every way that I can, or any way that I can. It can be small things, like even just bringing his lunch out to him. He works from home, but even just bringing his lunch out to him, it means a lot to him when I do that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's something, that I would greatly encourage any spouse to do. Even before you get married, if you're on the verge of getting married, or, in the process of getting married or newly married, learn your spouse's love language as quickly as possible, because that's going to do so much for your marriage and your relationship, and all of that kind of stuff. So the second suggestion that I have is to cook him dinner. And I think this is a pretty universal thing that I think many men would shoot down, is having a warm, nice home cooked meal. And again, this is it's as much as your time will allow. There are times where I don't cook dinner. I don't cook dinner every single night. That's just not something that I do. But for Sam, honestly, just having food on the table, as long as it's hot and as long as it's filling, that's honestly enough for him. I've been very blessed to have a man who is not picky. He's not a picky eater, and he's not, he's not too particular about that kind of stuff. It could be as simple as a stir fry, and he's gonna love it, and it's gonna mean a lot to him, because after a long day of work, being able to sit down and have a nice home cooked meal, I just think it's important to my husband. I can't speak for everyone else's husband, but it's definitely important to my husband, and I do try to do it as often as I can. There are times where, you know, I'll make a big meal and it lasts us a few nights, so I don't cook every single night, but try not to let him fend for himself too much because I know he really responds well to having a nice home cooked meal. My third suggestion on how to show your spouse love is to respect him. One of the big things for me has been and always will be not complaining about him to other people, not, you know, talking down about him to other people. I will never bash my husband to anybody, not one person. Obviously, if you need counsel in your marriage, I would suggest you do that, but I don't think you should just go off and, you know, gossip about your husband to your girlfriends or to your parents or, you know, your siblings or, you know, whatever it is. The good things that Sam does for our family completely outweigh any flaw that he might have. And so I really want to just make him shine to everybody that I'm with, and to know how much I appreciate him. And I think that goes a really long way in your marriage. It feels like common sense to me to just respect your spouse and to not, you know, be bashing them to people, and just really making sure that you're emphasizing all of their good qualities and not constantly dragging them through the mud to other people. So respect in general, but the specific point that I have is to not complain, gossip, drag them through the mud to other people. Talking about like small things, you know, things that don't matter in the grand scheme of things. I'm not talking about big things like if you need help in your marriage, you should seek help, but I'm talking about, you know, things that bother you about your spouse. You probably shouldn't be airing that out for everybody to see. What I would suggest is to simply ask him about his day, ask him how work was, ask him how he's feeling, ask him, you know, if he's stressed or, you know, whatever it is. Just ask him how he's doing and ask him about his day. Spouse know that you care about the things that are going on in their lives, like work, especially. Them know that you care about the things that are going on at work and in their lives, and, you know, things that they've been thinking about. It really, I do think it goes a long way in marriage. I can always tell when I think about asking Sam how his day was that he appreciates it and he likes talking to me about it, and I enjoy hearing from him about it. They're merged together. He's not over here working and I'm not over here, just being a mother to our child. We're together, we're a team. And so I think knowing what's going on in each other's lives is really important, and, you know, showing that you care in everything, and not just things that are about yourself, but things that are exclusively about them as well. And the fifth thing and the final thing on this list, there are so many ways that you can show your spouse that you love them, but the last thing that I'm going to say about it is to kiss him when he leaves and kiss him when he comes home. And this is something that I don't always do, and sometimes I struggle to do. Something that I'm really working on is being affectionate towards Sam, even when I'm unhappy or having a bad day, because I love having affection from Sam, but I do struggle with it sometimes if I'm not in the best mood, which I'm really trying to work on. So I would say, you know, kissing him before he leaves for work, or before he leaves to run an errand, or before, you know, whatever it is, giving him a kiss goodbye and telling him you love him, and him telling you that you love him, he loves you, I think is really, really important, because, you know, not to get morbid, but you don't know, anything can happen when you leave the house. And, you know, we assume that nothing's going to happen and we pray that nothing will happen, but I just think it's so important to leave each other in a state of love and affection. And I know that that's something that's really important to Sam, is me receiving kisses from him, giving him kisses, or a hug or whatever it is when he's leaving for somewhere, and then greeting him when he comes back. That little bit of affection will go such a long way in your day and in the way you interact with each other, and I can always feel it. And every time that I'm like hesitant to give him a kiss before he leaves, I always regret it, and I always feel so stupid afterwards because, like, honestly, I should. I just think it's so important to return affection and give affection freely to your spouse. We're not to, like, you know, withhold that from each other. Yeah, those are my 5 tips for this video. There's so many more things that I could say, and like I said, everybody is unique. Everybody receives love in different ways, and obviously you should cater this list or cater any advice that you get to your spouse and to how they receive love and to what their love language is and all of that kind of stuff. But I feel like these are pretty practical, universal things. Any man is gonna complain about his wife giving him a kiss when he leaves and greeting him when he comes home or having dinner or whatever, any of these things. And if he does, I don't understand that, but you know, like I said, everybody's different. Maybe he's not affectionate. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was helpful in some way. I'm not trying to like preach or, you know, any of that kind of stuff. This is just things that I've kind of realized during marriage and things that I know my husband appreciates, and maybe your husband will appreciate too. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed. Again, if you liked this video, give it a thumbs up. Leave me a comment if you have any suggestions or advice or anything you think I missed or left out. And please go ahead and subscribe. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.